Hello everyone and welcome back to English with Lucy. This is day 5 of my 5-day shadowing challenge, our final day together. If this is your first lesson, make sure you start with day 1 so you can follow the full story from the beginning. You'll find the complete 5-day shadowing challenge playlist linked in the description below. Over the past 4 days, we've worked through vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, and conversation. Now it's time for the final exam. You'll shadow 6 short texts to finish our story. 2 at B1, 2 at B2, and 2 at C1. After each one, you'll answer 2 quick questions to check your understanding. In this video, you'll shadow each passage once to test everything you've learned. And once you complete today's lesson, don't forget to access your Day 5 consolidation course because I've prepared a full final exam for you. It's a comprehensive test covering what you've learnt over the past 4 days. The exam is interactive with instant results, so you can see exactly how much you've improved. If you haven't joined yet, it's free. Just click the link in the description or scan the QR code. You'll get access to all 5 days of materials, including this final exam. Are you ready to see how far you've come? And just a quick reminder, when you join the free consolidation course, you also automatically join the waiting list for my biggest sale of the year, Black Friday. This is when I offer my biggest discounts and best bonuses of the year. It's the perfect time to commit to your English journey and reach your next level. Let's get started with today's test. Here's the first part of the story at B1, intermediate level. First, shadow me. Well, my trip's finally come to an end. It's back to sitting behind a desk for 8 hours without stopping from Monday. I can truly say that it's been a real holiday and has taken me away from the stresses of London life. I've had an absolute blast and I'm going to remember it for a long time to come. Okay, question 1. Replace without stopping and real with words introduced during the challenge. We should have straight and proper. Sitting behind a desk for 8 hours straight, and it's been a proper holiday. Question 2. How do we usually pronounce been in fast speech? Is it been with a long E as in see, or been with a short I as in it? We tend to say been with a short I. It's been a proper holiday. Remember, in the Day 5 materials of your free consolidation course, you'll find a complete final exam covering vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation from this entire week. Here's the second part at B1. Shadow me as I read the text. I'm going to be honest. When I was younger, I wasn't too keen on holidays in the UK. I always wanted to burn my skin pink on a Spanish beach or eat bread and cheese in a little cottage in France. But this trip's made me change my mind completely. I have 2 questions for you now. First, what is the informal contraction of going to? And how is it pronounced? Say it out loud. Gonna, usually pronounced with 2 schwas. Gonna. Well done if you got that. And for my next question, I'd like you to create a third conditional sentence to finish off the text. Use the verbs in brackets and add any words necessary. If I, how incredible it was, I, sooner. And your verbs in brackets are know and come. Ready? If I had known how incredible it was, I would have come sooner. Do you remember how we can use contractions here with I had known and I would have come? I'd known, I'd have come with that lovely double contraction. If you're working towards B1, my beautiful British English B1 program takes you from pre-intermediate to confident intermediate in just 12 weeks. You'll build strong grammar foundations, expand your vocabulary, and master pronunciation essentials while following Grace's story as she starts a new life in Australia. With over 60 video lessons, interactive exercises, and pronunciation training, you'll have a strong foundation to navigate life in English confidently. Are you ready for B2? Upper intermediate? Start by shadowing me. My days are always full in London. I'm constantly rushing from one thing to another. That kind of fast pace is normal to me now, but I'm going to make an effort to slow down. Okay, I have 2 questions for you. Number 5, use a word from the challenge to complete all 3 sentences. We're looking for one word in the same form. My days are always in London. My dad made me a lunch every day for school. And the plane leaves in 3 hours and you haven't yet? It should be packed. My days are packed. They're full. This is the meaning that we looked at in this challenge. A packed lunch is a small meal you put in a box or bag and take to eat later at school or work. That might be a new phrase for you. And to pack, the verb, means to put something into a bag or box, like clothes and toiletries. It's the past participle packed in the sentence. Okay, question 6. Which sentence is a correct replacement for that kind of fast pace is normal to me now? Is it, I am used to live a fast-paced life? Or, I am used to living a fast-paced life? It's the second one. Remember, it's be used to plus noun or gerund, the ing form of the verb. And, of course, it means something is normal for you. I wonder if you're used to shadowing after 5 days of practice. The best way to find out is by completing your final exam in the consolidation course. Let's celebrate how much you've learned in just a few short lessons. Here's the next part. Shadow me. I've come to realise that the more time I spend in nature, the more relaxed I feel. Not exactly rocket science, eh? I've also realised that making yourself look a bit silly in front of the locals is a surefire way to make friends. Okay, question 7. How do we tend to pronounce the definite article before consonant sounds? Is it the more time, the more relaxed? Or the more time, the more relaxed? Yep, we usually use the weak form before consonant sounds, as in the more time, the. And question 8, replace making yourself look a bit silly with a similar phrase from the challenge. Making a fool of yourself. Did you remember that one? If B2 is your next level, my beautiful British English B2 program takes you from intermediate to upper intermediate in just 12 weeks. Through Ryan's story as he adapts to British life, you'll master complex grammar, natural pronunciation, and sophisticated vocabulary. You finish this 3-month course speaking with ease, understanding natural English, and sounding genuinely fluent. With over 60 video lessons, 12 authentic conversations, and full pronunciation training, your English will simply start to flow. Okay, we're moving on to C1, the advanced level. But we're flipping it around. Complete the sentences you'll read in the passage. Number 9, if there's a fly in the... It's that I've now set impossibly high standards for future trips. The answer is ointment. Did you remember that a fly in the ointment is a small problem spoiling something very pleasant? Okay, next sentence. I'd love to take a road trip all around Britain. I'm going to give you a clue. We need a cleft structure. What I'd love to do is to take a road trip all around Britain. Which information is highlighted there? The last part of the sentence, the thing they want to do. Okay, now the text is complete. Shadow me. I've well and truly caught the travel bug, and I've got a bucket list as long as my arm. If there's a fly in the ointment, It's that I've now set impossibly high standards for future trips. What I'd love to do is to take a road trip all around Britain. But unfortunately, I don't have a spare 6 months. Don't forget that in your Day 5 consolidation course materials, you can practice all of this useful C1 level vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation with a full final exam. You're going to love it. All right, this is the final part of our story. Let's see how it wraps up. Shadow me now. So, realistically, I've set my sights on discovering the craggy Welsh coastline. I didn't find Nessie on this trip, but Wales has its own mythical creatures. Next stop, Dragon Country. All right, question 11. In the passage, you heard the words craggy and mythical. What synonyms for those words were introduced during this challenge? A synonym for craggy is rugged. Remember, rugged land is rough, uneven, and wild. Craggy is similar, though we often use it specifically for rocky surfaces with steep cliffs. And for mythical, we had legendary. Mythical means from a story, a myth, and completely made up. Legendary also means from a story, but it's often about real people, like King Arthur, though legends do tend to be exaggerated. Finally, question 12, pronunciation. Which word in the phrase mythical creatures contains the long E vowel sound? The answer is creatures. Mythical has 2 short I vowel sounds. As you work at achieving advanced English, your priorities shift towards refinement and confidence. My beautiful British English C1 program helps you reach true fluency in just 12 weeks. You'll learn through Lottie's story as she settles into a British village, mastering advanced grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation along the way. You begin strong, but lacking nuance and precision in your fluency. You finish the course expressing yourself with clarity, subtlety, and natural rhythm, the true marks of an advanced English speaker. With over 60 lessons, 12 real conversations, and dedicated pronunciation and writing training, you'll have everything you need to sound naturally fluent. Okay, brilliant work on completing this test. You've just completed 5 days of focused, targeted training. You've seen how vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, and conversation work together in real British English. But now it's time to access Day 5 of your consolidation course. You can join for free and take the full, comprehensive online final exam to see just how much you've learnt and celebrate all your English wins over these past few lessons. And before we finish, I want to remind you about Black Friday. It's a huge opportunity. It's my biggest event of the year. I save my best discounts and most exciting bonuses for this 1 week. If you have been thinking about joining my B1, B2, or C1 programs, this is the perfect time. Over the past 5 days, you've seen how effective, focused, story-based learning can be. Now imagine what 12 weeks of that could do for your English. Make sure you've joined the consolidation course, as this will add you to the waiting list of my Black Friday sale. You will be the first to know when the sale goes live. It will be the biggest discount I've ever offered on these courses. The link is in the description, or you can scan the QR code on screen here. Thank you so much for joining this challenge. I'm so proud of you for committing to these 5 days. Let me know if you enjoyed it. I'd love to put together another for you in the future.